Now this is the fly I'm going to be tying. Now this is called a cranked spinner. It basically represents a spinner being on its side, or basically both wings are on one side, and obviously the bend in the body. It's a position, a fly that's quite regular you'll see when there's a spinner fall, and the fish do react to that shape. Now the original fly was tied by a gentleman called Galloup, and this pattern here is by Stuart Croft, and it's a pattern that does extremely well. It's basically like a fiery brown, and the fiery brown colour is great for spinners. This one's tied with a rusty brown thread. It's very good with a yellow thread as well, just to lighten it up a wee bit. You can change the colour of the threads, but you can practically keep the fly the same. Now what I'm going to do, show you how to bend the hook first. Now I'm using a size 16 now. I've tied these size 20s up the way, and same pattern. It's a good colour combination to represent many species. And the hook I'm using is this one. This is a full and mill hook, size 16. It's the ultimate dry in black nickel. So into the vise. Now when hooks get smaller, you can bend the hook with your fingers or to a point. Using the vise to do that, and you'll see different ways of actually bending the hook, but I use a pair of circlip pliers. They're rounded, they're not sharp edged or any way, so you can actually get a nice, without any metal cutting into metal, it will not break. So what I do is support the shank. In this case I'm going to be bending the eye towards myself, and that's it. There we go, that's it, bent to the side. Now you could make it slightly more than that, but that's fine. As I say, I'm using to tie the thread, I tie the fly, sorry, with the uni thread in rusty brown, and it's 8/0. So first thing I do is run the wax through it, and then start at the eye, just come around the bend. I usually like taking the thread to the point of the hook, remove the waste, and then come back up to where the bend is. Now for the wing I'm using a woven, I'll let you see it. This is sheer class, what do you call it, organza ribbon. Now that's the organza ribbon. It's a 10mm wide. It's with the woven edge, and this one's gold. Now the woven edge obviously is this inside here. Now to basically get the fibres or get the organza rib or the fibre itself, you've got to remove one side of the woven edge, and then what I do is then remove all these long running fibres, and this reveals like a fringe which you can use for the wing. I'm going to use it in this fly, or you can use the running edge to do the bigger flies, or even that. I mean, once you take it and one off, there's enough fibre from the length of the ribbon to actually form the wings, and this is it here. But you can also use that for tails. It's a great tail, but I'm going to use a cotyledon fibre for the tail. So first thing we're going to do is tie the wing in. So we've got our fringe, we removed our running fibre. When you cut a line, I cut round about maybe 6mm or so, and this is enough to form the wing. It's quite easy. The woven edge is in this side, and we catch it on top, pinch and loop, just a couple of turns. Now if it's not long enough, we can pull it, just keep it a bit tight first, sorry, and then pull this in so that the length of the fibre gets to the length that you want, and the woven edge will stop this going any further. But we've got to remove that now because it's a bit bulky, so we can snip it away. And there'll just be a bit here. So you wax your thread, tidy that area up, come back up to the wing, and I'm just going to put 2 or 3 turns in here just to hold the wing. Now you'll see how the wing's sitting, it's flat. It's basically like half a spent wing. If you imagine there'd be 2 there, but with this crank style you want it flat, and you want the wing to come with the bend. So then what we do is we take our thread to the back again, we tie in the tail fibres. Now I'm just going to use cotyledon. This is the whiting cotyledon. Now I'm using 4 fibres, just doubling up on the fibres. There's two there's 2 tails on these, normally 2 to 3, but I'm going to use 4 and split them. So you want a reasonable length in the tail, so we put that in finger and thumb, catch that on top, wind to the back of the hook. We then take a turn underneath these fibres, let them go, and basically pull the thread towards the eye. Separate them into obviously 2 either side of the shank, and then I'm going to do a figure 8 between them. So I do a turn on my side, but take the thread up into the body slightly, and then come round and do the other side, do the same again, and then just make sure they're in position you want, and that'll give you your split tail. Then what we do then is get our fibre for the body. Now this is a dyed hot orange. This is a squirrel dub. This is SLF squirrel dub, and it's dyed. This is a hot orange, and it's a nice fiery brown because there is an actual brown colour in the fibre itself. So between the orange and that mix, it works. We'll remove the waste of the tail first before we go with the body. Just come in with the scissors here. I'm just trying out a new pair of scissors. These are small fine pair of scissors I got on eBay. Quite nice. So anyway, we just lightly dub. I mean, it's just lightly dub. You don't need a lot. With a nice thin body. And we just work our way up. Take your time, just work your way up towards the wing. Now I like to come through with the thread to tighten up the body, and then rib it really in the way back up. And then if there's any long fibres, I can take them away. Too long anyway. Take it down a wee bit. So there we are. Now the body could be whatever you like. The spinner bodies you can have even the thread, which I do. It could be quill, which works really well. There's lots of things you could actually use to form the body, but the dubbing's nice as long as you put it on thin. Now this is an old dry fly neck. It's a whiting neck that I bought many years ago, which I've dyed. You can see a fiery brown. Now it was a light ginger. I just dyed it the fiery brown, so it helped get a nice colour. So what we're going to do here is bare the stem, wax your thread so you've got the grip, catch in at the back of the wing, then your stem will be at the front. So then what I do is bring the thread to the front of the wing, come back up. Then I'm going to just thicken up the thorax a wee bit, some more of the dubbing. I'm just going to figure 8 through with the dubbing either side of the wing. So we take my ring out of the way, bring my dubbing up, and we kind of figure 8 through with it, just to thicken the thorax up. You need a nice, when the light shines through, if you look through this you'll see the spinner shape. If you ever look at spinners flying above your head, basically all you can see is this lovely shape in the body and the thorax. And that's what you're looking for. So then what we do is, I'll flatten my tail a wee bit there. We do a couple of turns at the back. Just make sure you don't catch the wing. And then a couple of turns at the front. Well, in this case a turn and a half is enough. And then catch in our hackle. Just trim away. Anything going forward with the eye, just trim it away. Again, a wee bit of wax on the thread. 2 or 3 more turns in. Then whip finish. I like bending the wire or the hook towards myself because I can actually see where I'm tying the hackle off, and so I think it's easier. You just twist the hook to suit yourself. And there we are. That's your crank spinner. And you can see the organza wing. It makes for It catches the light just as you would see in the natural. Got a lovely glisten off it. And then we have to do a wee drip of varnish in there. My varnish is a wee bit heavy. I don't like using it when it's too heavy, so just the warm weather does that, and I need to thin it down. But what you do is just get your dubbing needle, just put a wee bit of varnish just in here, and then that'll be it. So basically that's the crank spinner, and this is Stuart Croft's version of Kelly Gallup's original design. And as you can see, it's a lovely pattern. So I hope you enjoyed that. If you enjoy the videos, please subscribe, and thank you for watching.